Hi. Um, Today is October 29th. It's been about a month and a half since I blogged, which is good, I think. It just means my life has been fairly normal, if you can call it normal, with an ostomy. It, um, the good news is that tomorrow will be the last day that I ever see this silly thing. God willing. I am having my third surgery. Mom and I just got up here to Cleveland and got checked into our room and everything. And we have to be at the hospital at 5:30 in the morning. So it will be a short night, but it will be worth it. And tomorrow, with surgery number 3, they basically cut a hole around the stoma, and Dr. Gorgon reconnects that with either stitches or staples. He said he'll decide that day. And then they kind of drop the bowel back into my stomach, and he does like what's called a purse string stitch. That's hard to say. And basically that just kind of tightens the hole a little bit, and then they leave it open, and it will just be allowed to heal on its own, and I will be left with a little scar, probably about that big. I am super excited, super nervous. I'm really, you come to rely on the bag as more of a crutch at this point, that it's something like it comes with its own set of worries, but not the kind of worries that I had before the surgeries. Now with the bag, I worry about, oh my God, is it getting too full? Is it going to make funny noises while I'm at work trying to take care of babies? Is it going to leak at some inopportune time? You worry about those sort of things. Now I'm going to have to worry about retraining the new pouch that Dr. Gorgon made on the inside. So it will be an adjustment period, just like this entire situation has been. I know that I will have probably fairly loose stools for sure in the beginning. Dr. Gorgon said I could take Imodium to kind of help with that. And I will be going more frequently until the pouch has expanded to its full size, which that can take up to a year even. But for sure those first few months it'll be a lot of trial and error, to kind of to know what you're feeling. Is it really like, do I really have to go to the bathroom? Do I just need to pass gas? It's all going to be kind of a different world. I came up last week for my pre-op, and I could not sleep at all before that appointment, because I knew that if things hadn't healed correctly, and if there was, for some reason, any sort of leak, or if the scar tissue grew funny or anything like that, that they couldn't reconnect me. And that's been the guiding light. That's been the light at the end of this tunnel for me. So I would have been rather devastated. So they did what's called a barium enema study, and they shove this little camera up your rear end, and then they push contrast through it, and they take pictures while they're doing that. So wherever that contrast goes, that's either good or bad. If it would have leaked outside of the pouch, that would have been really bad. The fact that it stayed in, and like I could see exactly what the pouch looked like, the fact that there was no contrast just wandering around in my body. That was really awesome. So the whole time during the study, I was like looking over my shoulder, trying to see. There was a big TV behind me, and I could tell that everything looked good. So, so I did that and lab work and all sorts of other fun stuff, a physical. And so far, everything's on track. Everything looked good. Dr. Gordon came in, got my consent, and of course I picked his brain for a good 20 minutes. He'd be like, tell me exactly what you're going to do and how this is going to end. And he's great. He's really good. So, other than that, the past month and a half has just been kind of a whirlwind. I've been working, just a kind of normal schedule, and my friend Amanda and her husband Scott came out to see me, and I got to take them up to the mountains, and we had a good little day together. I went back home, first time in 10 months. I hadn't been home since last Christmas, so I went home for Blair and Tom's wedding, which was fantastic. Again, just its own set of worries. I was like, didn't necessarily have to change my bag that morning. I was in the wedding, but I was like, it's just, what if something happened? I would hate myself if I had to deal with this, like either at the reception or right before the wedding or whatever. So I kind of asked all the girls, I'm like, maybe I should just change it to be on the safe side. And they were, yeah, everyone was in agreement that it was just kind of gave me a little bit more peace of mind knowing, okay, I just put it on a couple hours ago. So that was good. I did probably between drinking beer at the wedding and then bouncing around being the dancing queen that I am, I did end up with some like gastric pain, and it was just like real tight, just right around the middle of my stomach, and I ended up just like not eating or drinking anything besides water for about 2 hours. Blair's dad was so sweet, and he went and got me some Pepto tablets, so I popped 3 of those and just like chilled out. And finally I came back around and was fine. But it was very reminiscent of how I got sick at Allison's bachelorette party in St. Louis when I took myself to the ER. So now that I kind of know that maybe that's, I don't know if it's to do with the bubbles and gas buildup or whatever it was, but it's scary because it hurts, and there's really, I mean, not a whole lot I can do about it. Had the pain gotten much worse, I probably just would have went home. My mom had came to the reception for a while. I probably would have just had her take me home. So I was very glad when things turned around, and we'll probably keep Pepto and Zantac on hand, at least for a while till I figure out. And maybe once the stoma's gone, I won't ever have any of that issue again. It's hard to say. Maybe I'm just getting too old to dance around like a kid again. I don't know. But that's really been the only issue. I was nervous to fly home for that wedding because when I had flown to New York and my bag had leaked on the plane, that's probably been the most traumatic experience to date with this bag. And so I was very nervous. I even did a little research to see if like maybe the altitude had some sort of effect and like produced more gas or whatever that caused it to leak that day, but I didn't really find any hardcore evidence of people saying yes, it will affect your output on a plane. I didn't know if the difference in pressures affected the bag at all. maybe it's just me and it was just a freak thing that happened, probably. Because if it is going to happen to someone, it's probably going to happen to me. But other than that, whoops, and it goes stuff. I have just been kind of living my life. I got back together with Drew. Him and I were seeing each other before my first surgery and had always stayed connected and always had this weird, crazy bond. And so things have been really good with him. He's super supportive this time around. I think he was just really scared since we were so new and fresh that I don't think either one of us was really ready to tackle it. I know I wasn't ready, and it was happening to me, so it's hard to put that on someone else as well. But things are great with him. We've been tailgating to some Tennessee games and just enjoying this beautiful fall weather. His schedule is crazy, so that's why he's not up here with me. But my Mama Joyce, hey Mom.
Hi.
She's back there. My dad flew in today, and they will be a great support system. And I'm very lucky to have them both here. Tomorrow's surgery really should only take about 45 minutes to an hour, which is amazing. And then I will get my room on H51 that I'm kind of used to, so it'll be good. I'm ready to be closed. I'm ready to not worry about what I have to wear, or is it gonna look funny, or but like I said, it's a whole new set of worries that I'll just deal with one day at a time. Everyone at work, and I mean, I've heard this from a lot of different people, that they didn't know, like, being 28 and single and, my family being 15 hours away from me. They were amazed at how well that I've done, and that, it seems like I'm always smiling and happy about things, but I definitely have those days, and they're dark days when they happen, and I mean, it's probably more like hours. We'll call them dark hours. But driving up here last week for pre-op was the prime example, because it was an extra 16 hours on the road, that it was just me. Everyone else's schedules didn't allow for them to come with me, and I had to move my pre-op day up by a week because my surgeon's practitioner was going to be out of town and nobody else could see me, and I was just already frustrated. I had worked 3 nights in a row, and then had gotten up and knew, oh my gosh, I have an 8-hour drive ahead of me. Then I hit traffic in Kentucky, and I was just so annoyed. I'd gotten a big, huge coffee at Starbucks before I'd left, which, for any of you that drink coffee all the time, you know that it kind of makes things start moving. So I was producing and in my bag, and I had a sandwich that I'd eaten, and my bag's filling up. I'm sitting there in traffic for an hour and a half and not hardly moving at all, and I was just so frustrated. I ended up like, I talked to my brother and I talked to my mom, and each time I just was like so annoyed because I didn't want to be in the car anyways. I didn't want to be making this trip, even though I know that the end result is what I wanted. But I could not get off the interstate because of traffic was so crazy. And my bag was full, and I ended up literally emptying my bag into my Starbucks cup, and I used a had a napkin from Starbucks that I used to wipe it out, and then I had hand sanitizer in my purse. Thank God. And I was just like, this cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. And I remember calling Mom and I ended up crying, and I was like, I just want to run this car off the road. Like, I mean, it gets dark sometimes is the point I'm trying to make. So, yes, I'm so happy it's almost over. I can't imagine my life if I had to live with this. It would be doable, but I think I would need some sort of happy pill maybe. I don't know. But I'm just grateful that things have gone as well as they have. I have the best friends and family that pick me up when I need it. And for that, I mean, you can't, there's no price. I could never pay them back because you can't put a price on what they've given me. And with that, I'm probably going to cry. So, thank you to everyone. It's been a long road, and I'm ready to be done. So, all right, bye, guys.